Welcome to the next episode of the Game Dosage podcast. I'm your host for this evening, and Noof Nukem. Glitcher could not be here due to technical difficulties, but hey, that's okay. We got the rest of the panel, and we got a charismatic guest with us as well this evening. And so we're going to welcome back and start with our guest. But yes, guys, we have got your gaming addiction, or got your gaming prescription for your gaming addiction. Excuse me if I'm a little tired and off kilter here. Also, before we get the show fully rolling, just wanted to remind everybody, if we can get up to 300 viewers live, yes, we are going to give away a console of your choice. So keep that in mind. Make sure you tell your friends, share out the links, do all that good stuff. And yeah, we'll get this show on the road. And let's start off by introducing our guest to the panel, who has been here a few times before, but he's always welcome, and he is one of the community's finest. I want to welcome back Mr. MrBoomstickXL. What's happening, Boom?
Hey, dude, listen, man, thanks so much for having me. Like I said, sorry Glitch can't be here, but he's here in spirit, and we will rock this show for him.
Yes, sir.
That we will. Let's head down the line, and I'm going to go from my screen from left to right, and I'm going to start up with Invader. What's going on, dude?
Hey, everyone. Hey, Noof, and welcome to the 16th episode of the Game Dosage Cast, hosted today on my channel, a place for gaming news, discussions, and some masturbations. It's your intergalactic menace, the Invader. And hey, I'm ready for another awesome show with my stellar panel of gamers. Again, it's unfortunate that Glitcher's having some issues right now, but hey, we'll make do for now. And hey, Boom, thanks for coming out, buddy.
No problem, dude. I'm glad to be here, brother. Thank you.
Awesome.
All right, let's get down to this podcast panel's resident ninja, Jago Cookin. Jago, how you doing, brother?
Oh, man, just like you said before we started, a little tired. Work sucked. My 10, 11, 12-hour days during the week kill me, but I am glad to be here, especially with Mr. MrBoomstickXL on the panel tonight. Ready to go, brother.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
dear. Did we lose?
No, still there.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm still here, but I'm hearing like a double echo. I don't know what's going on. Let's move it down the line to our only, but she is one of the finest in the community. Why am I hearing myself twice? But we got the always amazing Primal Eve. What's going on, Primal?
Hey guys, I'm excited to be here. I missed last week's episode, so I'm very glad to be back on with you guys, and also with one of my favorite content creators, Mr. Boomstick. So I'm excited to have our master debation tonight. Ready. Ready and waiting.
All right, next up we got Glitcher's bro, but he is no hoe. We are talking about Proto Foxy. What's going on, brother?
I like that a lot. I really like that one. That was a good one. I am glad to be here on a Monday with now 100% less suck. Makes me happy to be.
Is that because Glitcher's not here?
No, well, yeah, exactly. I think that's going to be the catchphrase for when he isn't here.
When Mondays don't suck.
Now Mondays don't suck. But I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to talk about games, just break away from the mundanity of everyday life, all the master debation going on. And it's like everybody else is saying, share this, get to 300, you're getting a free console. How hard is that?
That indeed. And last but not least, he is the man that we call Mr. Boner. Yes, but there's nothing dead about this dude. He is one of this community's finest guys, one of our biggest supporters, and certainly one of the most charismatic and awesome podcasters going. My good buddy, Mr. Stinking Corpse. What's happening, bro?
Hey, man, appreciate the kind words. Not a lot, man. Just kind of like what Proto said. This is the best part of Mondays. Look forward to it now. So, I'm looking forward to talking some games and having some laughs.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. All right. Well, how's everybody doing? What's people been playing? How's the chat? We got a lot of great people in the chat. Got to start out with UK Daz over there is kicking back and helping us out as always. Daz, he's good. The Indie Gamer, who is one of this channel's sponsors, I do believe, or maybe not, but either which way, he's an awesome dude. Lunch Bizzle's in the chat. Saltiest Gaming is here. The list goes on. Dipsy Doo. We've got Cyber Gunter,
yep.
yes, one of our supporters. Siberia's here. Yeah,
of
Crazy
good
Greek
people.
dude. So yeah, we got some of the usuals and some new faces in here. So thanks for joining us, folks. Sit back and get ready to enjoy the show. So let's jump right in, I guess, to the topics for tonight. And I hope that Glitcher updated me with the latest list. It looks a little bit on the thin side. So let's get down to it and let's talk about what's going on. Looks like we're going to find out some more details about Cyberpunk 2077 arriving during Gamescom, which, by the way, guys, Gamescom is what, coming up tomorrow.
Yep.
So we should have lots of things to talk about by next week. Hopefully there's some new stuff on the agenda. So let's talk about this, Cyberpunk, what you guys can expect, how excited you are for the game, all that good stuff. And let's get back to the panel. And I'm going to hand it over to Primal Eve. They'll get us started off here. Primal, what's your take on Cyberpunk? Where are you at in terms of how you're feeling about it right now? What do you think they're going to show tomorrow?
Well, I'm really excited for Cyberpunk. Made by my favorite producer, developer, company, video game, whatever you want to call it. They're godlike CD Projekt. I want to see a damn demo. I want to see at least 5 minutes. I'll take 1 minute because it's probably been the longest I've ever been excited. But I feel like I just want to see something about like character development, possibly. If there's like any specific type of classes, I want to see more than what they've shown us, which has really been nothing but just like teases this whole entire time. And my balls are blue and I'm ready to goo.
It's almost a contradiction in itself.
I know, I don't have any, but this game makes me feel like I do. I just need more than what they're giving us. I've been daydreaming about it ever since the finale at E3 for Microsoft. They did such a great little surprise at the end, and I know CD Projekt is very, very tight-lipped about these things, and I'm kind of shocked that there isn't more than what's already out there. So I'm really, really hoping that they give us something.
Sure. How do you feel about this game going to the first person view? That's what they said. It's going to be in first person. And how do you feel about the futuristic, what do you call it? Noir, sort of futuristic noir setting. Like, how does the first person stuff strike you?
The first person thing isn't really a big deal. It would take some getting used to because they consider it a first person shooter RPG, I believe is what they called it. But I like the whole setting. I'm definitely into the whole cyberpunk noir type feel. It's one of my favorite type of genres of any type, movies, TV shows. I know they said something about driving, that your driving will be in third person.
Yes, that's confirmed.
So that should be kind of interesting, but I'm not going to be playing the game to drive. So it just, I feel like that they are going to produce something pretty amazing, regardless if it's in first person or not. So it doesn't really bother me. I'm still going to play the shit out of this game.
All right. Well, now that Primal Eve has messed up the game dosage bed, let's throw a stinking corpse on top and get a few boners into the pile. Let's go, Corpsey. What do you think, man? What do you think?
Oh man, I'm excited for the game. I'm hoping we see something more than just like some CGI stuff, kind of like what they've shown, the little teases here and there. I'm with Primal. I want to see like a demo. I want to see gameplay. I want to know more about what the game's revolving around. The first person part doesn't bother me. That's fine. I don't care if it's first or third. I just know if it's coming from CD Projekt Red with The Witcher 3, I mean, that game's quality, and you can only expect it probably raise the bar for Cyberpunk, since this game is being so tight-lipped. They want to show it when it's ready, and I think it's getting to that point and just getting so excited. So I can't wait to find out what it is. So tomorrow, that's all I'm going to be thinking about.
Very nice. Well, now that we got the burger and the bun, it's time to throw some barbecue sauce on this bitch. Let's get Mr. Boomstick weighing in on this one.
Well, I'm going to say this. What I'm hoping for with this is there was behind closed doors, hands-off demonstration of the actual game. If you remember this, they saw about 20 minutes of it, and that's how all these media sites were able to report on it. it would be nice for them to actually show that gameplay. I get it. No one's actually going to be able to play it, and that's fine. But to be able to see at least maybe, I don't know, 7 to 10 minutes worth of a trailer that's actual gameplay, I think will set everyone's mind at ease. I mean, listen, it's CD Projekt Red, so you know it's going to be quality. There's no doubt about it. And the driving has been confirmed. It's going to be in third person, and you're shooting in third person from the vehicle. So that has been confirmed by CD Projekt Red. The rest of the game is going to be in first person. I don't see it being a big deal. I don't know if they're going to have a little bit of that third person when you take cover. That might also be a possibility. If you remember, they've done that in several games in the past. So I don't know. I'm very interested to see what they're going to show. I'd like to get some sort of an idea when it's going to come out. Maybe 2019. Do we see 2020 possibly? I hope it's not that far off.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's head over and get the resident Fox, Proto Foxy. What's your take, brother?
You know what? I'm pretty excited. I'm definitely going to be tuning in where I can and try and getting to view Gamescom when I can during breaks on my shift tomorrow. But yeah, this seems pretty exciting. And I'm with everybody. I want to see gameplay. I need to see gameplay, and especially now that they're talking about putting it in first person perspective. I mean, like with it being like a first person RPG, you immediately get thoughts almost of like I don't want to compare it to this, but almost like an Elder Scrolls kind of a feeling of it, because that's that's like the top, almost the top of the line, without glitches obviously when they happen, but like top of the line when you go first person RPG, and to have like a first-person RPG cyberpunk setting, that'd be cool. I mean, how cool would it be to almost have like maybe like in spirit an updated like Shadowrun type thing? You know what I mean? That excites me because I was a huge fan of that way back when.
Gotcha.
Nice.
All right, let's slice this one down the middle. Jay, go get the sword up, man. Give us your take.
Cyberpunk, honestly, I don't know what to expect from Gamescom. They might not show us anything, because you know how they go, CD Projekt Red. I'm hoping, I'm with everybody else, I hope they show some kind of gameplay, because honestly, with all the games that are coming out before the end of the year and right after the beginning of next year, Cyberpunk looks interesting to me, but I just haven't seen enough of it to really, make my panties wet, as Primal Eve would say. Because I mean, we got Resident Evil 2 remake, we got Overkill's The Walking Dead, you got Spider-Man, which is like in 2 weeks. I mean, I'm just looking forward to playing those, and that we haven't really seen anything on Cyberpunk. So I want to see gameplay. I want to see more to get me interested in it, because it gives me what little bit I've seen. It kind of gives me a Blade Runner vibe, and I love exactly. Yeah, and I love the original Blade Runner. I don't know about it. Second one was okay, but the original with Harrison Ford was the shit back in the day, and Rutger Hauer. So I just need to see gameplay. I need something, because just watching a little trailer that don't do anything for me. It's all about the gameplay for me.
Yeah, I'm quite curious to see how far this one might be out. Maybe they do give us some timeline so we know what we're looking at. But let's get some info or input on this matter from our resident spaceman Invader.
All right. So Cyberpunk is one of those games that I feel a lot of people, obviously on this panel as well, that a lot of people are hungry to know more and more about ever since, originally being teased a few years back. So this game has been in the works for quite a while now, and we still haven't seen any gameplay. The thing is, guys, okay, I know the show's tomorrow, but maybe they won't show any gameplay. Maybe they'll save that for the next E3. Like, honestly, I'm getting the sense that they won't show us anything until it's near finished.
That's what I'm thinking, Invader.
They seem to be perfectionists, so maybe no demo, but they might release some new images, some new info, answer some questions, and just go from there. But hey, I'm like everybody else. I would love to see gameplay, honestly, because this game is very intriguing to me. How it's all set up, the world. I would definitely love to see that first-person view they were talking about. Also, things that you do in the world, like the quests, different varieties that we can expect. More on the character that we're playing.
Some of the game mechanics.
game mechanics. Like I would love for them, even if it's just talking about it and just showing some images, just, you know, expand on the world more, expand what you're going to be doing, the mechanics, whatever leveling there may be, and just, you know, expanded look on things. But again, this game, it seems like it's still a little far out, and I think they're even talking about it being even like what is it, like to be on like the next, don't want to say next gen consoles, but like the next consoles coming as well.
Right.
So I don't know, we'll see. I still think there's a big question mark over this game as far as gameplay, but and I think it's a little ways out. But hey, we'll see. I could be wrong, and I would love to be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I think for just about any game now that's starting to look at 2019 or 2020 release, it's got to be one of those enigmas now where you have to wonder: are they going to make like a higher resolution version for maybe the next gen systems? Or are they just going to go over their period? Like, you have to wonder where a lot of where companies are at, knowing that they're so close to this generation ending, and are they going to try to maximize profits and maximize the exposure to a game? I would say the majority of them will want their game to be playable on this generation of systems, because we always know that first year of a new console's life cycle is very, very hard on publishers, because the install base is so low, so they can't maximize the profits. So it is a very interesting scenario heading into the next one. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited for it. Like, the third person stuff looks cool. So far what I've seen is impressive, but would like to see some concrete gameplay. Maybe we get a little tease of that right now, but we'll see where it goes. Now, guys, speaking of Gamescom, now correct me if I'm wrong, but Sony normally does Gamescom, or did they skip this one?
I thought they skipped it, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, does anyone know for sure?
I don't know for sure. I can't remember.
I know they skipped one of them.
Right. I think it's Gamescom. I think they normally do their own
the
afterwards.
PlayStation event or whatever it's called, PSX or whatever.
Well, you forget too that they also have the Tokyo Game Show as well that they're usually involved in. So, I mean, like, I'm not 100% sure if they're going or not to Gamescom, but
I haven't heard anything about them being there or read anything.
So let's keep it on the Gamescom topic. I mean, I'm expecting it to be a much more impressive show overall from Microsoft this year, that sort of thing. But I want to get the panel's take. I mean, obviously, the big question in the room is, Crackdown. Are we going to see any more of it? Will there be any talk? Are they going to focus on Game Pass? Where do you think Microsoft's show is kind of going to take us for this particular one tomorrow? Let's get to the panel. Let's kind of get your predictions of what you think might happen, and mostly what you really like to see. And let's kind of go in reverse order here. Let's kick things off and get Invader to chime in on this one first.
All right. So Microsoft at Gamescom. Well, honestly, I'm not expecting very much from them, to be honest with you, especially like in the last couple of years or anything to go by. What we do know is that we'll see like never before seen content for Forza Horizon 4, Sea of Thieves, which I'm assuming it's the Forsaken Shores, and State of Decay 2. They also had a video released earlier, like kind of teasing what we'll be seeing. You saw some PUBG in there, so I'm assuming they're going to talk about their new mode, that war mode that they were talking about before. Metro Exodus, Devil May Cry 5, and just some other stuff as well. So they might show some gameplay for those and different modes and so on. But honestly, like, what I would be looking forward to see, well, besides Crackdown 3, is hopefully some more Age of Empires stuff. Like, I'm a huge Age of Empires fan, and I know it's PC stuff, but they did announce it last year, and I would hope that they would show some kind of gameplay for that, or even that official mouse and keyboard that we've been hearing about for the longest time for the Xbox. So that would be a nice announcement. But honestly, I don't expect any big announcements or reveals, maybe like a small remaster, but like, I'm not expecting very much from them.
Sure. Let's get over and let's get to Mr. Boomstick's take on Gamescom. Boom, what do you expect? What would you like to see? What do you expect? That sort of stuff out of Microsoft, at least, because I guess Sony won't be there, and I don't think Nintendo does this one either.
No, it's usually just Microsoft. I mean, all the other third-party companies are going to be there showing off their wares. Personally, I did a story on my channel today where I believe we're going to get Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, to be announced in Game Pass day and date. And the reason why I say that is for a couple of reasons. One, N4G reported on it in May. And no one debunked it. No one said anything about it. It, like rumors, it kind of just faded off. Secondly, Square Enix and Microsoft have a good working relationship. And in that report, supposedly Microsoft had helped them with development dollars, guaranteeing that it would be there. And Microsoft themselves just 2 days ago tweeted that there were going to be they didn't use the word very, they said big Game Pass announcements. Now, we all know that since Friday, there has been rumors, and it's pretty much been confirmed because it says, cheaper with Game Pass. The Ultimate Edition of Injustice 2 is going to be showing up in Game Pass. And when I say the Ultimate Edition, that means with all the DLC. And that's going to be coming to Game Pass. I don't think that's big enough to say, oh, we got big announcements. It's a big game, and it would be great. But I think Tomb Raider showing up day and date is what I think Game Pass needs, because it's that third-party support that Phil Spencer talked about.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah, well, that would be huge. If Tomb Raider comes to Game Pass, that's what he announced, that would be absolutely huge. Our Rob in the chat says pre-order people will be pissed if it drops in Game Pass, and I guess it depends on what side of the fence you're on. For me personally, I think it's great, but I've already got my physical copy paid for, so I could give a rat's ass if it's in there or not at the end of the day. But anyway, let's keep the panel rolling, and let's get over Jago. Jump in on this one.
Well, the one thing I'd love to see out of Gamescom, I doubt it happens, would be like more gameplay or just more just all the info I can get out of for Anthem, because that's probably my most anticipated game. I mean, it's hard to say that when you got the quality of games that are coming out. You got Shadow of Tomb Raider, you got Overkill's The Walking Dead. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about Spider-Man. Good God, Days Gone. Shit, there's so many, but probably at the end of the day is Anthem I'm most hyped about, because the 4-player co-op and just BioWare, it looks amazing to me. I don't think we'll see anything or hear anything. I think it's going to be pretty much what they said in that little article that Glitcher had put up, in the DM. What they said you'll see is pretty much what they're going to show, because let's be honest, the Xbox shows, whatever it's called now, I can't remember.
Inside Xbox.
Yeah, Inside Xbox they've not been that good. They've been kind of lackluster since the start. So I'm not really expecting a whole lot. I think Dealer made a video on it today. The Game Pass thing, I can't remember what it was called. I watched it so long ago.
Called, I know exactly. I watched the video also. It's called Xbox. What is it? All Access.
All Access.
All Access. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that may be what they may be alluding to when they say a big Game Pass announcement or something. Maybe that's what they're talking about. That's what I'm thinking anyway.
Gotcha. All right, let's keep this show rolling, people. Yes, indeed. And don't forget, guys, if we can get up to 300 people, we are going to give away a console of your choice. It may not happen today, but I promise you it will happen at some point in time. We will get to that magic number. So thanks to everybody that showed up in the chat. Make sure you just keep sharing it with people, man. We got a good crew here. We always have a lot of fun. And, we want to show our appreciation to everybody that comes out. And, hey, 300 people, that gives some pretty good odds. But let's keep the show rolling, shall we? And let's get Proto Foxy's expectations and what you think is going to happen for Microsoft at this Gamescom.
I don't know, outside of the stuff that they've kind of, like Jago had said, it was Glitch already dropped it in the DM, so you see the list of what they got. And I think that's really, that would probably be what they're going to go into. What I would like to see, though, because everybody keeps talking about Crackdown 3. Now, I was never a Crackdown fan, just never a fan of the series. But I just want them to show something for the sake of all the fans of the Crackdown games. Just seriously, just get it out there. At this point, it's like shit or get off the pot. You know what I mean? For real, it's
show me a Crackdown lunchbox or something.
Yeah, just something for these guys. Throw them a bone, give them something for God's sake, you know. And then Anthem I would like to see some more on Anthem because I'm super intrigued by that title.
Yeah.
So, but
yes.
what I think will happen, like I said, I'm going to tune in, so just so I can catch what I can. But as far as Microsoft goes, I don't know. I think they might play it a little safer and just stick to the stuff that's already being talked about. Their big announcements for Game Pass.
The script they threw out there pretty much already.
Yeah, they'll stick to the script they've already written. I mean, maybe for the whole Game Pass thing, maybe it will be Shadow of the Tomb Raider. That'd be a big boon for everybody who wasn't looking to get it physical. I mean, like you had said, Noof, you've got the physical already paid for, so what do you care if it's on Game Pass or not? But that would be a pretty cool announcement. But I think they're going to play it safe and stick to the script. But please, for the love of God, if anybody involved with Microsoft is listening, throw the Crackdown fans a bone, please.
Yeah, they need to. Honestly,
it would be nice.
Either give it to them or tell them, hey, we're shit canning it, and
we scrapped it.
Yeah,
Yeah, they gave Crackdown the Smackdown.
Yeah.
Corpsey, what's your expectations, brother, and what would you like to see?
I think it's going to be a fairly safe played show by Microsoft. I don't think you're really going to see a whole lot that's going to be different than what they've probably really already shown. You'll see some other stuff that of the games. Surprisingly, what I want to see, because I'm not really a racer fan, I want to see some more of the Forza Horizon 4.
Yeah,
just that game. I'm looking so forward to actually having that and playing it. From what they showed during E3, it's just,
they're supposed to show what I was reading. They're supposed to show something from Forza.
Oh yeah, they're. I mean, that you would expect them to. And I'm with Proto on the Crackdown thing. I'm not really a Crackdown fan, but for the people that are, show them something to keep them hyped.
I wasn't a huge Crackdown fan either, but I've heard about Crackdown 3 so long. I'm trying to like the game, but they're shitting all over that game. Yeah. I mean, it's terrible.
They need to, I mean, just exactly what Proto said, they need to throw something out there. Let them know that, okay, here's the game's still there. We're not trying to hope that you guys forget about the game. Because that's what it's kind of seeming like, because it's like so long. Oh, maybe the fans will just forget we were even trying to make the game. And no, I mean, everyone keeps bringing it up. Show them something for those fans so they're hyped. So when that game comes around, buy it. I think the Shadow of the Tomb Raider, it probably will be an announcement for Game Pass, which is great because we all know it was such the way Game Pass is compared to what they thought it was going to work from the beginning, that actually it helped sell the games. People weren't just sticking with the games in Game Pass. They were actually buying the games because they played it in Game Pass and they liked the game, so they wanted to buy the game. So as far as that part for maybe pissing off the pre-order people for Shadow of Tomb Raider, I'm not going to be bad, because I'm going to pre-order the game because I want the game.
I can tell you right now, I wouldn't have Sea of Thieves if it weren't for Game Pass.
Right. I'm sure that they'll probably show a little bit of that next DLC, whatever it was, Forsaken Shores. Is that what the?
The next one,
which I'm looking forward to seeing that too, because the Cursed Sails, that DLC.
Not yet. Stinking Corpse. I gotta beat the Bone Pirate Cruise. I ain't beat them yet.
Hey, you and me, Jago. You and me, we gotta get that going.
You still messing with those Bone Pirate Crews?
Yeah, I haven't beat them yet.
A week ago.
I haven't beat them yet.
They're tough. They're tough. But for the most part, I think it's going to be it's not going to be so much lackluster. They're just going to play it safe, and just kind of go with the flow.
Well, speaking of flow, the snail trail finally ended here, so let's get her on, and let's keep the pirate ships on course. Or Primal Eve, what do you expect at the Gamescom, and what would you like to see?
Well, as far as Gamescom as a whole, Cyberpunk, obviously, like I definitely want to see something. And then as far as Microsoft goes, yeah, it'd be fantastic if they were like, hey, Tomb Raider is going to be available in Game Pass. And I think that would be very smart because that's money, money, money for Microsoft, and they love their money. And speaking of money, since they've been throwing it out and buying all of these companies, I could easily see them announcing somebody else that they purchased and that they would be having more games come out for more exclusives for the Xbox. And of course, I wouldn't mind seeing some Gears.
Oh yeah,
I didn't even think about Gears.
We saw plenty. But
I forgot all about
I will
Gears.
never say no to seeing something about Gears. Yeah, we do kind of have an idea about the gameplay. We do have an idea of
The story.
we really don't have that much of we kind of do have some story idea, but it's not anything concrete.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll see anything about Gears. I mean, I don't know, honestly. I don't think
I'm
so.
saying I wouldn't mind.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna say I don't want to see any more Gears. I'm tired of your shit. No, that'll never come out. But I would love to see that. But I really like you guys said, I really don't see them doing anything too much. It would be kind of a surprise if they announced that they did purchase another company or another developer and producer. But I don't really see anything else. But who knows? They did a really good job at E3. They could easily surprise us again at Gamescom.
Okay, fair enough. Everybody said some great takes on it so far. Did I miss anybody, or did I get everybody so far?
You did, but I just want to throw my a little tidbit that I totally forgot, if you don't mind. The two announcements I think that they need to show, or they need to at least give us release dates for, because it's supposed to be coming out this year, and there's not much left, and that is Ashen and Below.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
We need to know a little bit about those games. We need to see maybe a gameplay trailer and say, okay, at the end of the gameplay trailer, boom, it's coming out November, whatever. They just they're not physical, they're digital. But they could release anytime. It's not like they're gonna fight off, the Call of Duty fans or the Red Dead fans. It's just a digital game, but they really need to get in front of that and show some gameplay.
And since I'm lacking a bunch of common sense, I will throw my 2 cents out there on Gamescom. And what's up to, we got Ace Junkie in the house, Silent Wyvern. Guys, thanks for popping in and checking out the Game Dosage podcast. We're talking about Gamescom, some expectations, all that good stuff. A few things. Well, here's the deal. Like I said, I think they're going to stick to the script. They're going to stay a fairly safe course, pretty much like they did with E3. I think they dropped a lot of bombshells at E3, and it's tough to kind of top that show. And I don't think they're even going to try. But yeah, I think it would be great if we could see something on Crackdown. Just throw us a little bit of a bone, because that steak's been out in the sun so long now that the fucking dogs are getting sick from eating it. So we need a little something on that one. And I think it's quite possible that, because apparently the developers have pretty much wrapped it. I heard that they're basically working on like the finer touches. They've basically gone back going through it again, making sure that things are tight and things are working well. They're going to have a lot of work and upkeep on the servers and stuff like that if this game lives up to the hype. Gears of War would be nice. I expect not to see nothing, but hey, you never know. They also have that Gears of War pop game, so we might see something about that for the phones. We might see some PC stuff. Here's some things that people haven't mentioned. I think we're going to see a heavier presence of indie titles because we really didn't get much of that at E3, and I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft has some massive bundle deals that are coming up for the holiday season, because hey, you're going to want to start pushing your Xbox One S and your Xbox One X. We're just several months away from going full on for the season, and they're definitely going to want to have some big stuff to roll out for the year, some price drops, maybe some bundle deals, that sort of stuff, maybe some custom consoles. I do believe we might see possibly another Elite controller that's been heavily rumored. I don't know if it will. What they call it, the Washburn or something like that. So that's a possibility, maybe a new updated controller, or maybe some more styles, who knows, that sort of thing. But that's pretty much all I think is going to happen at this point. It's going to be pretty safe. You might see an extension of what we saw at E3, but nothing that's really going to blow people away. So keep your expectations in check here. And you never know with Microsoft, you never know. But I think it will be hands down way better than last year's Gamescom, because now Microsoft is clearly refocused on getting back in the game and back to gaming itself. So you never really know. And maybe, who knows, maybe they drop a bombshell and say they purchased another studio. You never know. But we'll see what happens. Let's move on to something that's sort of relatable This one came out today. I don't think it was part of the topics today, guys, but I'm curious to see what the panel thinks. PlayStation sort of getting in on the Xbox action and dropping not only custom consoles left, right, and center. Apparently, there was one leaked, I guess, of the Kingdom Hearts custom console, and they also just released that they're going to be bringing out some different colored DualShock 4s. I don't know if you guys saw the colors. There's like orange and blue, and there's a copper, and there's at least 4 of them. So what do you think about Sony's sort of taking a page out of Microsoft's playbook and jumping in on this? Because look, Xbox fans took a tremendous amount of heat, for all the controllers that we got excited over and bought, and now they're doing the same thing. And no offense to Sony, but I got to say it, their controllers aren't as nice looking as most of the Xbox ones. There was a couple nice ones. I like the orange one, but let's get the panel's take on this, and let's go back. Let's start with we'll get the guests to kick this one off, and then we'll go with Primal. So, Boom, what do you think about the controllers and all that stuff, dude?
Well, I think that Sony realized that there was an untapped market for people who buy controllers. I mean, listen, the reality is I have 5 of them, and that's because I sold at least 5 or 6 of them over the last couple of years because I had about a dozen. I like custom controllers. I like game custom controllers more specifically, and I think it's about time Sony, got in on it. What I'm waiting for, and again, the average Sony player does not attack other Xbox players for these custom, controllers that you've seen on Twitter. This statement is really towards the elitists that toxify the community. I'm wondering when these toxic trolls are going to be tweeting about them buying these controllers when they gave Xbox players so much shit over the last couple of years. It was unbelievable. So again, it's a double standard of play. It has been. It's probably always going to be. But again, Sony, good on them, because people like controllers. And again, this is not a stick at Sony. You kind of need another controller because it dies really quick. And unless you have another one charged ready to go, you might have to stop playing the game. Playing a particular game to charge that controller.
That's why I hate the rechargeable batteries. God, I love batteries. I love batteries you can take in and take out. I wish people would stop asking Microsoft to put permanent rechargeable batteries in the controllers, man. Because I've run into that multiple times, Boom.
Well, speaking of someone who loves batteries, let's get her take, Primal.
All my shit, sure. But no, I think it's cool and it's pretty neat. I'm not a PS4 owner, so kind of seeing something like the whole Kingdom Hearts PlayStation 4, I didn't know about that, but now that you said it, I'm kind of eyeballing what it would be. It's very interesting to me. But yeah, I think it's great that they're giving people options of customizing. There's so many different Xbox custom controllers that you could make, and it's really great to have something personalized. So it's smart of them to also start doing this too. They're a little late, but I don't like having the whole permanent battery pack in your controller. That kind of scares the shit out of me because it's easy just to replace your batteries or rechargeable battery versus spending $60 or $54.99 or whatever it is for a PlayStation controller. That's ridiculous. You're spending $60 on a battery pretty much. That's just going to crap out on you. So in a way, I guess it would be great for somebody to just buy a couple different controllers for the PlayStation so that when one does crap out, then you have another one of a different cool color. Or it's great to have different colors if you have kids too. I hate when my daughter touches my shit because I know it's going to last 2 seconds and then I have to go get something else. Right. So she has her own pink or purple or black controller for herself. Fantastic. Don't touch my shit. That's how I feel about it. But as far as the whole different type of consoles, I've mentioned this before when we talked about the Spider-Man console coming out. I think it's if you can't afford it, I guess it is kind of crazy to just spend $500, $400 for a skin change, pretty much for the same system. But if you're a collector and if you're a fan and you're a hardcore Spider-Man fan, yeah, sure, I guess that's cool. But it's not really my thing. That's how I feel.
Well, yeah, having one controller is like monogamy, highly overrated. Let me tell you, if your spouse will let you screw it, you'd all do it. So let's get with the program. Oh man. Okay, so let's jump in. Let's get Stinky's thoughts on all these controllers.
yeah. Ask me about fucking controllers. You got enough, man. Xbox. Yeah, Xbox. I've got like 23 some odd fucking controllers.
Yeah.
I don't use any of them. I mean, I've got both elites. I'm still rocking my day one controller. I have no problems out of it whatsoever. I think it's, I mean, yeah, like Primal said, a little late for, Sony, jumping on the bandwagon, but it's going to make them money. I mean, there's people, I'm sure, on the PlayStation side that wish that Sony put out more variety in the colors of their controllers, the schemes. Those that they released, I like the new ones of like, the blue camo, like the camo stuff. As far as PlayStation controllers, I've only got two, and that's
Me
because
too.
when one's going or whatever, the other ones, I'll make sure it's charged because time varies for the batteries. It's just what depends.
Depends on how bright you got that light too.
Yeah, how all the accessories. If you're playing a game and it's got the sound coming through the controller, there's a lot of variables. I think it's good for them to do it. I just and I don't have a problem with custom consoles. There's people out there that like that stuff. Like at least on the Xbox side, when they released the Xbox One Slim, I told myself I'm not buying one. I'm sticking with my regular fat day one. And then, of course, bam, Microsoft heard me and said, nope, you're going to buy it because we're putting out a Gears 4. Like, all right, I'm buying that. I'm buying the Gears 4. And then, then all of a sudden, year and a half later, hey, we got the Xbox One X. I was like, all right, cool. Now are they going to do anything customizable, Xbox side with that? Because now Sony, they're kind of doing a little bit more on their side with their pros. So maybe we'll see something from Microsoft on that side. But for Sony, I mean, I think it's good for them. It's just, there's people there that want that stuff. And I don't understand the people that talk trash on the Xbox side because of all the different controllers. I just don't understand that. I mean,
well, Xbox or PlayStation, guys, choice is good. It doesn't matter what the console is. Choice is always good. You know what? You don't have to buy it. If you don't want to have 23 controllers, you don't have to buy 23 controllers.
Right.
I think they realize that there is a market for like the collectible market.
It's the collector side.
It's a collector's side. You want to have the different colors. It's it's the same reason when we buy clothes, we don't buy like 20 white t-shirts. We generally unless you're Archie Bunker and you like the white Peter shirts, but we generally we like choice, and we never had that choice in previous console generation. Not as much as we're having now, and it's bank for Sony and Microsoft because there's huge markup on the there's very little markup on the console, but there's a shit ton of it in the controllers. That's where they're making money, and somebody's been going, "Ooh, look, these things sell," and there you go, right? So
I mean, even now on Xbox, I mean, you can get the NFL team controllers.
Yeah.
So I mean, and then they've got the customizable ones, where you can choose the colors, you can have your gamer tag engraved on it, and this and that, So it's if Sony does that, which I agree with you, Noof, the Sony controllers don't look as good. I think a lot of that is because of that little touchpad. If they could do something with that touchpad, because every one of them, the touchpad's not painted or it's not changed, so they could fill that void. I think they'd look a lot better.
All right, let's get over and move this along. Let's get to how we got a few people left who haven't chimed in. I do believe Invader, you haven't said anything on this yet, and neither has Foxy, and neither has Jago, right?
Yep.
Correct.
All right, so Invader, you take it away.
All righty. Well, honestly, I think this is a good thing for Sony and Sony fans. I mean, obviously, they've had a lack of design options for controllers. They've had some options on the console side. And no, I think this is a good move for them, for the consumer. I mean, I looked at the controllers, and out of the 4 that they announced, I only really like the one that you were talking about, Noof, the Sunset Orange, I think it's called. Yeah. Like, to me, that looks the best. The other ones, I mean, the camo one does look pretty good, but the other ones, I'm not really a fan of like the bronze one or that cherry one. It just looks kind of off. But no, I think this is really good. I think it's really good for the Sony fans there. They've been kind of left in the dark for their options when it comes to controllers. And honestly, like, I know I give Microsoft flack for going overboard on the controller side, but the options are there if you want them, right? And you know, you look at what Microsoft does with the Xbox Design Lab for true customization of the controller. You can basically have it however you want. You can even have your name engraved on them. Awesome. Like, you know, they're leaps and bounds over what Sony do for their customizations. So I think that this is good. I think that this is good for a start anyways. They've been checking off a lot of the marks on consoles recently. You look at like Primal alluded to, like Spider-Man, the console, and even the controller looks pretty sharp. And yeah, I think this is good. I hope they start releasing some more. I wish they could do some stuff with that battery, but I don't know.
Jago, what's your take on it, brother?
Mine's gonna be kind of short. I have never owned a custom console, a Sony custom console, nor have I owned a Sony custom controller. I've always had the OG, like normal colored gray PlayStation. I had the black PS2, had the black. Every PS3 I had every iteration. It was black, and then I got the OG PS4. It's black.
The bastard from the box, huh?
Yeah. I've never, honestly, up until here recently, the Spider-Man one looked really nice. That Star Wars one looked like they threw stickers on it. Let's be honest. The controller looked like shit, in my opinion. I've never really wanted a custom console. If I was to buy one, that's Spider-Man. You got my Spidey sense tingling a little bit, but I would rather spend my money on, and I'm not really a custom controller type of person anyway, because at the end of the day, I would rather spend that money on games or collectible statues. Let's say like the Spider-Man statue or the God of War statue or the Doom statue, you know, when I bought it. I would rather collect stuff like that. I did get the Gears 4 collectible console, yes, just because they put so much attention to detail in it, like the laser etching and the sounds that it made. I know that irked the hell out of Mooch because he kept saying like, every time you turn it on. But they put so much attention to detail. I had to get it, and it was Gears. But like I said, I've never really cared. That's not my thing. It's not collecting controllers. I know I'm not stepping on your toes, Corpse. You can collect all the controllers you want, but I'm not a controller guy. I'd rather collect statues, or I put that money towards like games. And if I do buy a custom console, it's going to be on the Microsoft side. I'm sorry, I bleed green.
Yeah, well, if you think Corpsey had a collection, holy shit, Xbox Addict had.
I saw his. His was
crazy,
ridiculous.
Holy mackerel! Yeah. That guy had everything. Crazy. Yeah, yeah. Hopefully his mom's got a nice little shrine going there. That's a pretty cool stuff. Pretty impressive collection the man had in a short period of time. So
I will say this. If I could have bought one, if they'd had one back in the day when the Xbox One launched in 2013, I would have bought it, but they didn't. They could have had a Killer Instinct like custom console. I would have got that. But since they didn't, I bought the Killer Instinct Fight Stick, which is phenomenal and still in the box. And I know you, Mr. Boomstick, you still got one too. Mine's still in the plastic and everything.
All right, let's get Foxy Proto Foxy's take on this one. And you're the last one to chime in, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
All right. Take it away, man. Which one do you like?
Again, like I've mentioned before, when it comes to my stuff, I'm a basic bitch, man. All my stuff is just, it fits the aesthetic of just, the black and the white and all that. I mean, it's cool for everybody to get options, and now that Sony's kind of jumping on a bandwagon, good for them. Now, my tune would change if they all of a sudden turned around and released a updated take on the initial concept boomerang controller like they were going to do for the PS3, because for whatever reason, I just thought it was so oddball. It was cool. It would probably be horribly functional, but I would have to have that just because it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, it's good for them, man. I mean, if that's your bag and that's what you want to do, go for it, man. I mean, by all means. And y'all, like y'all have been saying, Microsoft has had that kind of market cornered, and Sony's now the light bulb's tingling like, hey, people actually buy this. People are actually into it. So good for them. And not my bag, so I won't be spending the money unless I get my updated boomerang controller.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good for them. You know,
well, it's certainly a little more enticing because look, I mean, the average family or anybody going in to buy a console, like you should have at least two right off the get go, right? Because if you want a friend to play with you, and second, you know, if one shits the bed or for whatever reason you got to charge it or something, you got a backup. That's what I always tell people, man. At least get two, and a third one is never bad. After three, really, like I said, you're starting to get into collector territory where
and then it's overkill.
You know, where it's like I like it because of the design. Because I mean, I've got 7 of them, but at least I think 4 of the 7 I probably won't ever really use because they're the collector style ones. You know what I mean? They the gears and the halo and that sort of stuff, and my custom design controller. So
right. I mean, I agree with that absolutely. You got to have multiples just to to have friends play. And of course, my son and I both play, and there's got to be 2 controllers. You know that I'm not knocking at all. So that definitely makes sense. You know, and for the people that run into battery issues, and believe it or not, I must be one of the lucky ones. I never have battery issues with my PS4 controller. It always holds a charge really decent no matter what I'm playing. And there's been times where I've marathoned for like 3-4 hours and only had to throw it on the cable once. You know, so.
Well, I haven't had that many issues either. It's just I prefer the batteries I can take in my AA's that are rechargeable because I can. So it takes me 10 seconds, if that. Boom, boom.
Now that I agree with too. I actually prefer that, like the old Xbox 360 controllers and stuff like that, where you can just pop your batteries in and out. I don't like. I mean, when I knew it was a permanent rechargeable, what is it, a lithium battery in there, whatever. The typical recharge stuff. I'm like, oh, I don't know about all that, but they did it with the PS3 as well, and again, I mean, it works. I've never run into issues. But yeah, I mean, I agree with the whole, like, if you got multiple people over, I can't tell you how many times where it's like, okay, hey, let's get a game of like zombies going on Call of Duty, or let's play some, Killzone, or, even on the Xbox side, let's jam some Halo. Yeah, I definitely have more than one controller. But as far as like I need to have every color known to man, it's like, nah, I'm all good. All my controllers fit the aesthetic of my house, where it's all just the basic colors. I'm, like I said, I'm a basic bitch.
I'll say this, Proto. If Microsoft put in 2 rechargeable AA batteries with a small recharger inside the box instead of stupid Duracells, you wouldn't hear anybody bitch.
Oh hell no, you're right about that. You're definitely right.
Yeah, it costs a little more money. Microsoft trying to save,
of course,
every dollar counts, obviously, and that sort of stuff. But yeah, so let's get just to the chat. Let's to everybody in the chat again. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We greatly appreciate it. On this episode of the Game Dosage Podcast, Glitcher couldn't be with us tonight due to some technical issues. Hopefully, he is back next week in the hosting chair. Just curious as to people in the chat. We got some people like Crazy Greek Dude says he's got 5 controllers. Cybergunder's got 4. Would love to know from the rest of the people in the chat how many you got. So if you want to type in the number of controllers that you have, and also like if you're excited about a particular controller, because I see some Xbox guys really excited about that new. What's that new? Like it's like a semi see-through. It's like a shadow.
It's the Black Phantom or something.
That one's cool.
Yeah, that one is cool.
That one looks really cool. So yeah, I'd love to hear that. But I think that's enough on the controller talk. Let's get back to some more exciting things. Let's press the buttons on Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. It was one of the most impressive looking games at E3. It is made by From Software, published by Activision, and it has got a launch date, it looks like now, set for March 22nd. So your wallet will have very little time to breathe in 2019, guys. We're going to start with our guest, Mr. Boomstick. Boom, are you excited about Sekiro? What's your take on the game from what you've seen so far? And I think you're going to be picking this one up on March the 22nd.
Well, I've been hunting all night to find out a way to order the collector's edition because that statue of Shinobi looks dope. I'm sorry, I'm going to tell you right now. It has a very Onimusha feel, and I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know. I mean, we're talking about the Sekiro Die Twice, right?
Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Yep.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that game. When they showed it off at E3, like I had that premature jump ready to go because I was like, "This is fucking Onimusha. This is what I've been waiting for."
And you had a promo moment, boom.
Yeah. I had to kind of just hold myself and walk away from the moment because it was, again, this world needs a new Onimusha, but this is from what we've seen so far, it looks like this is what would be a great substitute. And I'm very excited for this game. March could not get here quick enough. And again, it's just one of those titles that the first quarter, man, all I'm saying, I said this on my show numerous times, this fall, on this holiday, don't ask for gifts, ask for GameStop gift cards.
Yes. Yes.
Indeed. Well, yeah, the game is looking pretty cool. The director of the game basically said that, they don't want it to be as challenging as I think the their other series in terms of Dark Souls and stuff like that, but they don't want it to be a walk in the park either. So they're trying to find a nice balance on this game. I think that they know that there's a huge market out there that they're missing out on by having their games be as difficult as they have been. So I think they're just trying to find the line, the fine line in between those. I think maybe more in the vein of challenging like Ninja Gaiden, where, the games aren't brutally crushing in many ways. It's just you have to stick with it. You have to get good at the action. But I don't want to get sidetracked here. Let's go down the line and let's get Stinking Corpse's take on Sekiro.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that game. I liked what they showed at E3. Earlier tonight, I watched kind of like about a 15-minute video, roughly, on it. And damn, I mean, just watching the game, like you said, they don't want it to be overly hard, so it's discouraging for just new players, and they don't want it to be overly easy to be a walk in the park. It's kind of a in between. It's supposed to be a bit more open world. Supposedly, they're not going to have any kind of multiplayer with it. Because they want to focus on the story of the game itself. And supposedly there's really no customization to your character other than kind of you got a prosthetic arm and you've got some different weapons that you can do with that. But they haven't finalized that. There could be skins or something for your character down the road. The game itself, I just think, looks really good. I'm not a big Dark Souls person, but the game, I'm going to pick it up. It's just that whole shinobi fighter with the katana. I like that kind of stuff. So it's going to be pre-ordered and day one buy for me.
Nice. All right, let's go down the line and Proto Foxy, what's your take on Sekiro, man? Has it got the boner meter rising at all, or what?
Oh, yeah, absolutely does. The more I see about this game, the more I'm just super intrigued and feeling like I need to get it. And like Boom said, it's really coming off as like that kind of spiritual successor to like Onimusha, which is really exciting because I loved that series back on PlayStation 2. I thought those were just great games. As somebody cracks open a pop or a beer in the background there.
Yeah.
I will second that actually, but yeah, no, I'm really excited, and it's really nice to hear that they're kind of trying to find that happy balance between not being as difficult as Dark Souls, but still being challenging enough because I had dabbled in the Dark Souls games. They were fun, but let me tell you, I'm past the point now in my life where I want to sit and rip my hair out over a game for hours on end. I'm over that, man. I mean, I'm not talking about where I'm going to sit here and play on casual easy mode on everything. I want a challenge, but at the same time, I don't want to feel like after I've played a game, gotten nowhere, and then shutting the console off and going to hang myself in a closet. You know what I mean?
Well, I've got a lot of bald friends, and unfortunately for them, they got no pubic hair for the last 20 years either.
Exactly. But yeah, man, it's definitely on the radar for sure, man. I'm really, really intrigued and really excited about it.
All right, let's head over and catch Primal Eve's take on Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Looks like a game you might be interested in, Eve. At least the guy's got one hell of a boner for an arm. Primal?
She actually had to bounce for a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, she had to bounce. Okay. All righty. Well, let's move down the line. We might as well keep going with the Resident Ninja, Jago.
Honestly, I remember seeing that game at E3, and it looked pretty damn good. And when Boom said it reminded him of Onimusha, I mean, that's the vibe I got from it too. But I felt so bad because I totally forgot about that game, because all the games we're going to get slapped in the face with but between the end of the year and the first, say, 2-3 months at the beginning of the year, dude, it looks fantastic. I mean, I went back and looked at some of that E3 game footage, or whatever it was they put up of it at the time, and I was like, man, that's another game that my wallet can't handle all these games right now. Oh my god! I'm getting Overkill's The Walking Dead day one. I'm getting Shadow of the Tomb Raider day one. I'm getting Spider-Man. I'm getting Anthem day one. I'm getting Resident Evil 2 remake day one. What else? I'm damn sure gonna try my damnedest to get Days Gone day one, because I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead and zombie games anyway. Man, that's probably gonna be, even though I love the Onimusha series back in the day, it's probably gonna have to be on the back burner for me, because if I buy all these games, me and my old lady will be sleeping in a cardboard box with no electricity, and then I can't play my X. So.
Unless you hook it up to a car battery.
Yeah. Just go to auto parts store, get you a little AC inverter, and converter or whatever.
Let me just say, I'm glad this game isn't coming out on February the 22nd.
Yeah.
Like every other game.
Yes, like every other game. Invader, what's your take on this, my friend? On Sekiro, looks like one of your games, or a pass for you?
Well, it's interesting. It's definitely on my radar, because when I first saw this game, I was like, oh man, like this. It just generally looks pretty cool. Like, I'm really digging the combat. There's a lot of crazy stuff you can do. And honestly, I'm a big fan of samurai themes and the time period that they're going for, and kind of like the mythos as well. You can see that there's lots of, how do you want to, there's a lot of cool stuff going on in there. And I'm glad that it's supposedly not going to be as difficult as previous game series like Bloodborne or Demon Souls or the Dark Souls kind of games. It's still going to be an interesting combat that's going to be going on in the game for difficulty. As far as a March 22nd release date, I'm still waiting for like one or two of those games in February to slide to March. So I'm kind of wondering if this game does get moved to a more competitive spot to maybe April-ish, because we haven't heard of any games in April that I know of coming out yet. So that might be, I think, a safer bet, especially for a new IP, I would think.
It is Square Enix. They're notorious for delays or, movement of dates.
Oh, that is definitely true.
I thought it was Activision that was publishing it.
Really?
It's Activision, I do believe.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it is Activision. It is.
Yeah, that's
Activision.
the surprising part about it. I was shocked when I heard that Activision was involved with this game.
So look out, Activision might try to milk this one for as much as they can get.
Yeah, but exactly. So I don't know. Honestly, like this game, like it really catches my eye, and I'm just waiting for more gameplay. I want to see boss battles and stuff. I just want to see more of the world, because it looks like just so far very interesting. And as I believe it was Mr. Boomstick that pointed out, the collector's edition that they announced earlier today, it looks really nice. Like I know it's simple.
Sweet.
I know it's simple, but like the statue, it just looks really sharp. And not only that, but you look at the complete package, you get like, and this is like appealing to me, you get a soundtrack, you get an art book.
Yep.
And other stuff like a steel book, map,
a coloring book with 8 crayons.
Well, the statue.
Hell for coloring book.
No, but what I'm trying to say is you get some pretty cool stuff in there, and this is a big point for me, the actual full game seems to be included as well.
That's good to know. Yes, excellent.
Yes. Because so many of these collector's editions, they don't come with the game, and I to me, ridiculous. I just find that kind of annoying personally. But no, I think the game looks good, and I'm excited to look. Like, I'm just excited to see more of the game.
Sure. Let's ask the chat. How many people in the chat are excited for Sekiro Shadows Die Twice? If you think it's something you're excited for and will probably buy, I would love to see a 1. And if you think it's at least a maybe or a pass, a 2. And I do have a question, guys, for the panel, and you can jump in whichever order you want to go on this one. But do you guys think that Sekiro, on any other type of show, this game would have been a bigger deal? But do you think it kind of a little bit, 1, got overshadowed by the fact that it's a multi-plat, and 2, the fact that coming up after the next day after this was unveiled at the Microsoft show, what did we see? Another feudal Japan game the Sony one with Ghost of Tsushima. So do you think that Ghost of Tsushima somehow upstaged Sekiro? And do you think because Sekiro is a multi-plat, a lot of people are sort of downplaying it as like, yeah, you know what I mean? Because normally a game like this from Software would be well more hyped than this one. What do you guys think?
Oh, I agree. I agree. It's they want to shit on the multiplats and they want to praise the platform or the exclusives.
I think you actually nailed it on the head, Noof, because I think that's why I actually forgot about that game. Was because of the one that Sony showed. Because it was just it made such a big deal with the guy on the roller skates playing the flute, you know what and I think, because it looked so good, we had, such entertaining before we got to the game. It was the next day. I think that's what kind of, honestly, I think I kind of like fused the two in my head, and I just totally forgot about that game because when they showed a Sony stage.
Yeah. You know what? Like, it's hard to say. Like, I think there'll definitely be more of a push come like around the release time, especially from Activision, or at least I would hope from Activision, because they have all kinds of money to do that for marketing. But yeah, I do think that does play a little bit into it, because we've known about Ghost of Tsushima for well over a year, because they had a teaser the year before, so that was kind of on everybody's radar before. Plus, it's a Sony exclusive, so that kind of is always at the back of people's minds, the exclusives anyway. So people are doing the lists and stuff, exclusives versus everybody. So yeah, that definitely plays into it. But I know, like when I saw the news about it earlier today, I was like, oh yeah, what game is that? Oh yeah, that crazy samurai game that that they announced back at with the Game Awards, I think it was originally. So yeah. Yeah, I do think that does have a, being a multi-plat instead of an exclusive does have a role to play in just the genuine knowledge of the game existing, because nobody's pimping it out for their lists.
Oh, I see Primal here in the chat. So Primal, you here? You're back?
Yep.
Yes, I'm back.
All righty. So give us your take on Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Is this a game that you're excited about? Obviously, it's coming out now on, March 20? No, sorry, February. Yeah, March 22nd. It actually has a date. Whether it sticks to it or not, that's interesting. But are you into these kind of games? Are you excited for it?
I am actually pretty excited for it. I remember when they first showed it at E3, I thought it was Naughty Musha. I was like, oh yeah, and I'm like, oh wait. But yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of weird because I haven't really been following it at all, because I did forget about it until it was brought up again today, which is kind of a shame. But it's not because I wasn't interested in it. It's just because it's not being shown to me enough. Well, it's definitely something I'm very, very interested in. I love games like this.
You missed it, Prime. I said the same thing. I forgot about it.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. So it's definitely cool. It's something I'm interested in, but I'm gonna wait it out and kind of see how well it does, how well it doesn't do, even though that really won't base my pure opinion. But I kind of do trust my friends around me that play similar games and have a similar type of mindset. So I'm just gonna wait on it.
You're a Dark Souls fan, right?
I have not played Dark Souls.
Oh, so there you go. So, well, neither have I. So we're in the same boat.
Okay. I was afraid to say it.
I haven't played Dark Souls either, so don't feel bad.
I've seen those videos. I see people playing them, and you know what? Even after trying Bloodborne, I was like, no thanks. Any of these games
punishing to a point of
yeah. I don't have the patience for those games. No. I'm sorry. I'm not knocking the games. I think they're fantastic. I wish they had just some mode that was like play through for the story and fuck the difficulty. I'd be all over it, but they don't. So, yeah, I mean, I get it. People like the grind. People like that feeling of accomplishment. Me, I like stories. I like narratives. I'm not in it to get frustrated. I don't want to be swearing at my TV. I do enough swearing before I come home from work, so I don't need to be swearing when I get home. Okay, so ease up on the difficulties. Like I'm getting old and my eyesight's failing me and my reflex are going. So, yeah, I'm not 13 euros and I'm with expendable time limits here. So make the games for everybody. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Boom. Do you think though that Sekiro is getting downplayed just a little bit, or nobody's making a big deal because it's a multi-plat and because Ghost of Tsushima came out, both feudal Japan games? Do you think that there is a little bit of that there possibly?
I mean, it is a possibility for sure because anything from software is usually hyped by the community at large. And I guarantee you this. If this would have been an exclusive for either or, I think it might have been a bigger deal. I'm not sure. I mean, listen, it's great everyone's going to get to play this. Real quick, the only other game coming out in March is The Division 2, which releases on March 15th. So this is not a bad spot for the game. It's just ahead of a lot of really big titles. So I mean, so it's tough to say, but I don't know. I mean, I got excited for the video that they showed at E3. I mean, I was very interested in it. Truthfully, like everyone else, I kind of forgot about it. But I mean, the game is still 6 months, 8 months away. So, I mean, there's so much on our plates right now. You know, who's thinking 8 months in advance, right?
Not me.
So
no, but that's a good point. You forgot about it. And the majority of us, regardless of how far out it is, when something is big and it's touted, most people don't. It's on the top of your mind and you're just itching, you know, like we've known about Shadow the Tomb Raider for how long? And you know what? I've been thinking about it ever since I heard the rumors of the games were coming out. And I'm still like, I'm itching for September, you know, for Shadow the Tomb Raider. Spider-Man fans have been going on about Spider-Man for how long now? Fucking 2 years. You know, like, so that in itself.
Yes,
I mean, it's a new IP,
Anthem,
right? Sorry?
Same thing could be said for Anthem, right?
Yeah, Anthem. We've been talking about that for a long time. So, like I said, if that had been a Dark Souls 3 thing that we had seen, would it be different? I think it would have. But again, it's a new IP. And it was unveiled on Microsoft's show. But you're right, Boom. If it doesn't matter if it was an exclusive for either or, it would have been getting a little bit more hype, I think, than it's getting. It would have been added to that list war we all know about. But right now it's just another multi-plat, you know. So there it is. Let's move on. Let's keep the topics rolling here, guys. We're almost coming to the end of the show. Thanks everybody for watching. Not a lot of topics on the docket tonight, unfortunately, but you know, I'm pretty sure by next week we'll have lots to talk about as Gamescom wraps up. So we get into the next one here. Where are we at here? I don't know. Glitcher had one about Destiny. Does anybody know what that one? I didn't really get to dive into that one too much.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure about that. I don't really.
I ain't played Destiny since like September, so
that's why my energy level went down tonight. I saw Destiny in the chat. We're still talking about that game. I don't know. Does anybody know what it was? What the actual article was about? He linked it. So
no, I mean, I'm assuming he's talking about the Forsaken DLC that's coming out on September 4th.
I think that's what it was.
Forsaken DLC.
I mean, it is. Listen, it's supposed to be fantastic. I don't know if I'm gonna jump back into it again. There's really a lot to play, but you know, from different people that I've talked to in the community, it's supposed to be as big, possibly bigger than the Taken King, which basically saved Destiny 1. It's supposed to be as big. A lot of multiplayer modes, a lot of new content being added. There's new races being introduced. So it is a big deal. Destiny fans are salivating, waiting for the 4th. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's not in my wheelhouse right now. I'm just playing too much other things, and you guys feel the same way, I'm assuming.
Especially with the games in Game Pass.
Yeah. Yeah, well, oddly enough, I do see a few people have been firing it up lately. There's 4 or 5 people on my list have been plugging back through the games. It's always, you know, encouraging to see people go back to it, whether you like the game or not. So, anybody else want to chime in on Destiny? Excited for the expansion? Ready to jump back into the universe, or is it all done and gone, and you're ready to jump into other games like Boom said?
I'm ready to jump into other games.
See, now I haven't gotten Destiny 2 yet, but now that I'm hearing that Forsaken is going to be like Taken King, I think I'm going to pick it up because It was one of those things that was on the back burner, is like, because I like the Destiny games. No matter how much the first one was derided, even prior to the Taken King coming, I enjoyed it. It was a fun experience. It really was. And Destiny 2 was on the back burner. It's like, I'm gonna get it. Just when I get around to it.
Dude, Proto, I played it for the story. It actually had one this time. It was a pretty decent story. I ain't gonna say it was like, oh my God, blow you out the water, but at least it had a decent one.
Right.
In my opinion, it was not enough change. Other than with the stuff they took away. I mean, the story was good, and that's what I played it for. I enjoyed a few hours of multiplayer. It just got boring as hell to me. And if I could give you my digital copy, I would. I'm like, here, bro, take it.
Oh man, well, that would have been awesome. But I like the Destiny game, so I think this will be the one that pushes me into finally just pulling the trigger and saying, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Because that's really interesting. Because I didn't delve too much in the article myself either. Because again, just Destiny just being on the back burner. But now hearing that it's going to be like Taken King level stuff and beyond, it's like, yeah, I need to do it. I need to.
Cool. Anybody else? Any more thoughts before we move along?
Not really. I didn't get into Destiny 2, so I can't say.
Same here. I didn't get into it. So.
Well, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Primal.
No.
Okay.
That's just a straight no.
Oh damn!
The Destiny talk has ended just like
the
that.
Snail trail dried up, motherfucker.
Up.
It's just a
this
dusty
is a general
trail.
question for everybody on the panel and also for everybody in the chat. What game? And I just want the one major one. Pick out one game that you are most excited for between here and the end of the year. If anybody has a game, I want to know what it is. So put it out there. I'm going to start down the line. What is your most anticipated game? And tell me why you're so excited for it. And let's start with Invader.
Oh boy. Okay, most anticipated game.
There's a lot, Invader.
Such pressure. Only one. You know what? I'm gonna have to say Forza Horizon 4. Nice. Just for the fact that I absolutely love the Forza Horizon series, going back from the first to the second, third. I've spent so much time in those games that I just know that Forza Horizon 4 is gonna be a quality game. I've loved what I've seen, like everything that I've seen from it. I love the setting, just everything. Like, I'm so pumped to play this game and get my hands on it. You have no idea. And to me, this game in like the September, October time period, like it's gonna eat up my time like you wouldn't believe. Like, I just can't wait. I can't wait for the Forza community challenges to pop up for that too, that UK Dazarus and Stick Figure do, and it's gonna be a blast. I am so looking forward to that game.
Perfect. Stinking Corpse.
Oh, fuck, that's tough. I'm going to go with what Lunch Bizzle in the chat posted, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Nice.
I'm very excited for that. I'm excited to see even more of what that game has to offer. So that's my choice.
Nice choice indeed. All right, Jago.
Oh, man. You're making it hard on me, Noof. Good Lord, one. Oh.
Yeah, if it was just one, you can only buy one from here till December, the end of December. What would it be?
Oh. Damn it. I want to say Tomb Raider because I know it's going to be fantastic because they all have been since they rebooted it. And it probably would be my game of the year, but I'm such a Walking Dead fan, and I'm a zombie fan. It's probably going to be Overkill to Walking Dead because it looks like a fresh take.
And that is due to come out when?
That is I think it's November 8th.
Okay.
November 8th is the release date. But Telltale's The Walking Dead is fantastic. It's not a game where you pull your hair out, Proto. It's really good if you haven't played it. I don't know.
Oh, I played the Telltale games. They're amazing. I love them.
Yeah. But it's not the TV show, and it looks like. Oh, well, yeah. I like it, but I didn't want a game based on a TV show. And it's just a different take, a gritty take. If anybody played that game on a 360 where you played as Daryl, oh, my God, it was garbage.
It was awful.
It was awful. But it's just, I'm everything about that game I've seen so far all the trailers and all the gameplay I've seen, it looks really good, and I can't wait to dive into that game. So it's gonna be a
zombies. Anybody see that crazy trailer for World War Z?
No, I haven't.
With the hundreds of zombies going nuts on the screen, like and running at you just like the movie.
Yeah,
holy,
looks crazy.
That looks nuts. Remember that movie if you guys saw it where they pile up the wall?
Yeah.
Wow. Let's go with Proto Foxy.
Give me 2 seconds. I got it. I just had to make sure it was. I just had to make sure it was coming out this year. I had to double check. I had to double check just to make sure it was coming out. Mega Man 11 because it's Mega Man 11.
Man 11. Okay, that one's definitely left field.
Yep. Yeah. Anybody who knows me, you can ask Glitcher. That's I'm a huge fan of this of the Mega Man series in general. So it just I need that.
Nice. Well, and the good. It's always nice to have some. Well, so far everybody's picked a different game. Let's get over to Boomstick.
I'm gonna say Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4.
There you go. What's really getting you going with the Spider-Man?
Well, I mean, for rogue galleries in regards to bad guys, no one has a better one than Spider-Man. And they've already confirmed that it is a Sinister Six, and there's at least confirmed a dozen enemy bosses, if you will, that you're going to be fighting in the game one way or another. And I think that we're going to see a lot of classic villains. We may see like Mr. Negative is big in the comics right now, and he's in there. I heard that Kraven is supposed to be in there. No Carnage, no Venom, but Mysterio is supposed to be in there as well. I'm looking forward to it. It's an open world. It's going to have side missions, collectibles. It's literally right up my alley. And come on, I mean, the game looks gorgeous.
Only 18 days away. Boom! I tweeted it today.
Very nice. Great selection. And let's get down to Primal. Primal, which game are you most excited for?
SpongeBob
Wetpants. Excited about a game?
I don't know what game that is, but it sounds pretty good.
I've been thinking this whole time, and it's very difficult. And like Jago said, like Shadow of the Tomb Raider is like,
it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be fantastic. I definitely want it, but for me to be like emotionally attached to a game, I have to go with Life is Strange 2 coming out in September. I'm a huge fan of Life is Strange, and I'm very excited to see the second one, especially because they finally released a video today. I was really, really excited. So now we actually have information on it. So yeah. But see, why one? Why?
Why one? I know it's hard. It's so hard.
I'm like, I got these other games in my head, like, fuck you, Eve. What about us? And I'm like, I'm sorry, he said one.
I said one.
I know, it's awful.
That's what makes it the perfect gun to your head moment.
Yeah. When you gotta pick one, it's always tough. That's how a lot of kids are with allowance. Mom's gonna give them $70 or $80, so you're gonna buy one. You want lots, but you gotta pick one. And that's another reason Call of Duty sells really well every year, because lots of kids, they want different games, but at the end of the day, you know what? They're gonna go back and buy the one that they know they're gonna play the most. And that will most likely be Call of Duty or Fortnite or something like that. So that's where it ends up, unfortunately. And for me, guys, I'm pretty sure most of you guys already know my answer, and I'm going to have to agree with Cyberpunk, and that is the latest final chapter, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. It's looking amazing. I'm super stoked to see what Eidos Montreal does with this game. It's looking magnificent. I'm so stoked for it because I love the last two so much.
Yes, they were really good.
This one is set up to be in a good place, and to finally feel like Lara's coming into her own, being a badass, and some great puzzles and stuff in there as well. And speaking of Lara Croft, guys, and Tomb Raider, if you didn't know, take advantage of it while you can. Tomb Raider Legend and Tomb Raider Anniversary are just like $1 something on the Xbox store in backwards compatibility. So I'm not a digital guy, but at $1 something, hell, I can't pass that shit up. That's like cheaper than a chocolate bar here.
Yeah.
So there you go. And Lara Croft, she's almost as sweet. And after Primal Eve's fucking moment when she started her bit, I was thinking she was excited about the latest train simulator. Okay, well, I think that was it for the topics, guys, unless there was anything else. Am I missing anything here? Invader, I don't know. Am I missing? Is there anything else we want to talk about before we wrap the show?
I don't know. I mean, we seem to
covered everything.
Cover everything.
I will say just something that I'd seen earlier, that God of War now has a new Game Plus mode.
Shut your mouth.
Nope. I saw that too today. Yeah, God, and there's extra things in there as far as armor and some of the enemies act differently.
Oh, I was going to look that up this weekend, Corpse, and I forgot to when with the new Game Plus mode.
I sent you. I think I sent you a DM on that. So that was just shown today that there's an update to it. So now it has a new Game Plus.
Is it active now?
Yeah. It's according to what I've seen, it is. I haven't turned my PS4 on to see if it is.
I'm going back through it.
Game Plus where you can start off at whatever difficulty you want with everything.
With all your stuff.
And you can skip cinematic scenes. And there's extra armors and stuff that you can do.
Nice.
So they've added some stuff to the game. So that's just one thing I just thought I'd throw in there.
Nice. Well, that is going to bring us to the end of the show, guys, on all of our topics. We hope to have a little bit more for you next week where we kind of get the lowdown on Gamescom. Make sure you go follow all these guys on the panel. Make sure, again, you share out the links and spread the word to all your friends, because when we hit 300 live viewers, we are going to give away a console of your choice, which could be anything that you really want. So if you want a Switch, you want an Xbox One, PS4, maybe you're saving up or something, maybe you'll wait a while and get one of the next consoles, but whatever. It is good stuff. So I want to thank the panel. First, I want to thank all the chat. Everybody here has been absolutely fantastic as always. And let's start out by doing some outros. And we got to go with our special guest, who is always a delight to have on this show. Brings a wealth of information and always great energy. This Mr. Boomstick, he's got a bunch of projects on the go, guys. Make sure you check him out. He's going to let you know how right now. Let's go, Mr. Boomstick.
Well, thank you very much, Noof. That was pretty awesome of you. Yeah, listen, I really go out of my way for my channel not to be clickbaity. All right, that I know that the whole thing with clicks and getting people to watch your stuff just to get them in there. Don't do that. If you're gonna do a story like I do, be truthful, be forthcoming, and the fans will follow. I was able to acquire 1,300 subs in about 9 months. That is a big deal. And that's because I put a lot of work behind it. So if you're interested and you're hearing me for the first time, check out my channel, Double Barrel Gaming on YouTube with Mr. Boomstick. This week we have, last week actually, I launched the Xbox Factor podcast. And my partner in crime, of course, is the Welsh Gamer. It's a two-man show. It's Xbox centric, 60 minutes, all Xbox news and talk. That went really well with the community, so I'm very happy with that. And then obviously Breakfast with Boom is a multi-plat show. We talk about everything. That's on Friday mornings at 10 a.m. And if you want to hit me up on Twitter, my DM is open. It's at MrBoomstickXL.
Absolutely awesome. Let's get over to Mr. Stinking Corpse.
Oh, yeah, you can find me on YouTube, Twitter, and Xbox at Stinking Corpse. PlayStation is XStinkinX. Of course, you can find me here Monday nights on this awesome panel on the Game Dosage podcast. Tuesdays, you can find me on Retro Renegades with Graphic God, J-Dubs, Supersonic Station, and UK Dazarus. And then whenever the time is right, the Dazcast. For anyone that doesn't know, which everyone should probably know, that the Dazcast has been put on the back burner for the time being. And then the WDFC, whenever Fastback figures out a time for that, because he, just like Noof, he's got a job again, so it's just a matter of time to figure out when everything works. And then when I do, I think randomly, it seems to be like about once a month, I do my 4+ hour Corpse Cast.
Yes.
And that's pretty much it. And I want to thank everybody that showed up in chat, and I want to thank Boom for showing up, because it's always awesome hanging out with you, bro.
I appreciate that very much, dude. Thank you.
Absolutely. Let's go over to Invader.
Yo, guys. I thought that we had like a really wonderful discussion and a list of topics tonight. I know it was on the little bit on the slim side tonight because a little light on the news, but hey, I'll definitely pick up next week for sure. Mr. Boomstick, my friend, it was a blast having you on again. No pun intended there. Well, I mean, okay, a little bit, a little. But besides the puns going on, panel members, honestly, interesting takes and opinions. And look, I really love being a part of this crew. It's a shame Glitcher couldn't really make it because of technical issues. But look, I find this a really fun place to be to start off the week. It really gets my energy going. I get excited. And it's just great talking with you guys. And, of course, the chat. Thanks, everyone, for joining, listening in, and just being a part of the show. All of you, honestly, you guys like D Raven, Z Black Rider, Indie Gamer, all you guys, UK Dazarus, of course. You know, you guys are the lifeblood, and so many other names. You guys are lifeblood, and it wouldn't be the same without you guys for your support. And before I leave, just don't forget to share this out, or else I'll definitely get triggered, and you don't want to do that, guys.
You don't want to piss Invader off. Not like him when he's angry. Trigger.
She's sexy, she's sweet, and she likes me. Let's outro here. Probably.
But just like Invader said, I love being here with you guys. I love all of our master debations. It's better to do it with friends than alone. I absolutely love having Boom here. I love podcasting with him. He's a really great guy. So if you're not following him now, it's you better, because you're missing out on a really great guy. If you guys would like to follow me on Twitter, you can at Primal Eve. And if you want to come play with me on the Xbox, you can also follow me.
Nice.
Two words, not one. But yeah, I've had a blast with you guys from the very beginning, you know, and thank you, Noof, for plucking me out. Plucking, I said, PL. So
like something else.
Yeah, I had to do a double take too.
Yeah.
I was like,
But yeah.
Wait a minute.
You guys.
Awesome. All right, let's get down to Jago.
I just want to say thank you, because I don't do it all the time. Thank you, Mr. Boomstick, for jumping in with us tonight, brother. Your content is quality. I just my job situation changed, and I haven't been able to jump into your podcast when they're live.
Okay, dude.
But I think you do great work, and I just appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. And I want to say a big thank you to everybody who showed up in chat: Indie Gamer, Z Bike Rider, Cyber Gunter, Daz, who's always here. Sabir was here earlier. Lunch Bizzle, all you guys, and a couple of new faces we saw. You know, without y'all, I mean, we'd be sitting here talking to ourselves pretty much.
Or playing with yourselves.
Yeah.
with the cameras off.
Picking your bums.
But you can find me on YouTube, which I haven't uploaded nothing in a long time just because of work and time. YouTube at Jago Kukin, Twitter at Xbox at Jago Kukin. Yeah, I think that's it.
PlayStation.
Here on Monday nights. Oh, well, PlayStation is Tuscany 34 because Sony's, their dicks won't let you change your gamer tag. But Tuscany 34. Here on Monday nights with all these great guys. I mean, I'll be honest, I was like I felt like I was about to go to sleep before I jumped in here. But you guys always are fantastic and wake me up. That's why I love doing this.
Yeah, this is definitely a fun show for sure.
Yeah, and I used to be on the Daz cast, but that ended. So the Daz cast. And whenever you can find me here, and then whenever Corpse does his random stay up all night, drink beer, and just talk about whatever, Corpse cast, you can find me there. Because we don't give a shit. We talk about whatever during that.
Exactly.
By the way, this panel's got to get together real soon for a private match in fucking Titanfall. That's what we
yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm down for that.
Let's do it. We'll
Let's
set
do
up a
it.
time. All right. And he is the Fox that rocks. Foxy Proto Foxy. I'm always getting those two screwed up because it goes
I did it too. Don't
vice
feel
versa
bad.
on Twitter. Proto Foxy, man, outro yourself.
Damn, man, you just keep sending me out so good. I'm almost not going to have to do this. First off, once again, everybody in the chat, just awesome. Y'all are awesome for hanging out. This is my favorite place to be on Mondays. I'm glad to share it with the people in the chat. I'm glad to share it with the people on the panel. Boom, brother, I was glad to share the stage with you again, man. It's always a blast. It really is. And maybe I intended that pun. Oh,
yeah. Everyone yeah, brother.
Yeah, otherwise, the typical, you can find me at on Twitter at Foxy Proto because they put my name backwards. So the mix-ups are warranted. Otherwise, I'm on YouTube at Proto Foxy. You can find me on PSN at Happy Emo Puncher. You can find me on Steam as Wicked Lance. Otherwise, you're finding me here Monday nights. My favorite place to be.
Nice.
Absolutely. Your puns are tight like a stripper's buns, man.
Turns on the stripper.
And Glitch is living up to his name, Attack to Glitcher, because each week it seems like he's forgot a glitch and he has the bitch and then he doesn't show up. As a 2-week Glitcher, you're fired if you're not here next week. All right, we are definitely out of here for tonight. Thanks to Invader for hosting it on his channel and for letting me take over the hosting duties, which I always totally enjoy. Great panel, great show, great chat. What more can we say? Noof Nukem, you can find me in the gutter and on Xbox Live. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Share it out, follow these peeps, and game on, people. Ooh, yeah.
And as Glitcher would say, and keep a tight ass.
I don't know what that's all about, but yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, it's a thing.
Everybody has their thing.
Yeah. That's Glitcher.
Have a good night, everyone.
Later, guys.
Yeah, great time, great show, people. Thanks for